All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next fighter making his way to the cage, Gio Zavala.
All right, for our heavyweight tournament bracket number 2, coming to the cage now, Gio Zavala, the 23-year-old, stands 6 feet tall from Los Angeles, California. While no camo record, he is 3-1 in Tough Enough. Also, a bit of a Muay Thai background, training that for 5 years. Trains at Legends MMA here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and with that 3-1 in Tough Enough, he brings 3 first-round KO victories. So there's a lot of power behind these hands. Actually, I've seen this guy work before. I've seen him move before. He's a tough son of a gun.
Gio's a very powerful fighter. You can see big muscles, big man overall. He got into fighting by accident. He got tired of lifting weights and he went to Legends just to train, and after a while they saw his dedication and said, hey, you know what, we want you to get in there and fight. And so here he is now. Yeah, very intense individual just from the look of him. Nice guy, but looks very intense, and he's deceptively fast. You know, Gio has said that tonight might be his last fight. He's not sure if he wants to continue with this in a competitive fashion. Right. But, you know, to be honest, with 3 first-round knockouts, that'd be a bit of a shame. Yeah, from a fan's perspective, you want to see him keep going, for sure. One thing at the amateur level, we see a lot more of the lightweight fighters, so seeing a 205er here at amateur is kind of a treat. Yeah, and he's a thick 205er, too. A lot of power in this person. Oh, well, if you want to talk about big 205ers, this is a big 205er matchup. He and his opponent, Grau, both big, stacked guys, extremely strong. I expect we're going to see a firefight tonight. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of power in this cage tonight. This fight's going to be intense. Tonight, Gio's watched by his nephew, Nathan, and his stepson, Richard. A fine name, if I do say so myself. They're here to watch Gio Zavala come in and throw down.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, Sandman Grau.
Now coming in, Grau, the 41-year-old, is 5 feet 9 inches tall. He's 3 wins and 3 losses here in camo, training out of Boss Rutten's Elite MMA from Redondo Beach, California. Originally, though, also a Dutchman.
That's correct. He also has a boxing background, 7 years, and a national champ. We're talking about power, a national champion powerlifter, and both 07 and 09. So these are 2 bulls we got in this cage.
You want to talk about that national championship in powerlifting? His last fight here for Jens was against Michael Bettis in May with a round 1 TKO that really could have been called a round 1 knockout. I think he ended in about 30 seconds. Oof. You know, Grau is a very calm, very collected, jovial guy. He was joking in the locker room beforehand. You know, he says about Gio that Gio's a cool guy. I like that. He didn't have to be a jerk to fight, and Gio shows that. But when he heard that Gio says he might retire, Jen said, I'll help him.
Very nice. And as far as techniques go, he said he favors the right hand and also leg kicks to the head and the liver.
This is also new territory here for Jens. He has also fought up in the heavyweight and cruiserweight divisions here at the U of MMA. So he's actually looking leaner, looking fitter down here at 205 pounds.
Wow, he's going to bring a lot of power with him. A lot of power. I'm really excited for this bout.
You know, I misspoke. Not a Dutchman, originally from Denmark is Jens, where he is also a BMX racer. His friend and coach, Boss Rutten, drew him to the gym because of his intelligence. And after the fight, as always, Jen's gonna have a Cuban Mador, dark leaves.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Our next fight is brought to you by the Park's finest, bringing that backyard boogie. Scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the 205-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai fighter. He brings a record of 3 wins and 1 loss to the cage. He stands at 6 feet tall and weighing at 206.2 pounds, representing Legends MMA from Los Angeles, California, Gio Zavala. And his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter. He brings a record of 3 wins and 3 losses to the cage. He stands at 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing at 203.2 pounds, fighting with Boss Rutten's Elite MMA from Thousand Oaks, California, Sandman Grau.
right, get excited, people. We have Gio Zavala in the red corner, Jens Grau in the blue corner. This should be a heavy hitting affair between these two. Referee cleaning up a bit, making sure that we're all safe and ready for these amateur fighters. At 41 years old, Jens Grau is quite a specimen of health and vigor.
Yeah, it's impressive. I hope I look even close to that at 40, which is not too far away.
The fighters touch gloves. Jen's very quick with that first jab.
Heavy, heavy swing. And you see, whoa, that is the 5th takedown we've seen not work out for the person initiating the takedown. There's something in the air tonight.
Might be the worst version of it, too, getting down into that mount position, but a good job of Gio to use the cage turning. Get out. You know, being out of Boss Rutten's Elite MMA, Jens Grau, a big fan of those low kicks and those liver kicks.
I'm surprised Gio really wants to take this to the ground. He's really, this is his second shot, and I'm a little surprised because he has clean stand-up. You saw the way he was parrying those jabs. Thought he might want to test the waters, but maybe he feels he's that much more dominant on the ground.
You know, he might have touched one of those hands of Jens Grau, and I'll tell you right now, if one of those touched me, I would not want to have it happen again.
Fighters in the almost stalemate clinch there. Both have a traditional wrestling clinch on.
Gio looked to go for a throw there, but couldn't land. A nice stiff left hand, though.
Wow, and he ran into a hard one. He ran into a really, really hard one. That rocked him. He's covering up now. Survived. Very nice survival and very nice aggression from Jens to try and finish there.
You know, you can see that power from Jens, but he does stiffen up a bit when he's throwing those power shots. You saw his legs go a little bit straight, not really putting those knees into his power shots.
Yeah, but he must hit really hard because that shot that Gio walked into rocked him.
Oh, he clearly hits hard. I think he could hit even harder.
Nice jab parry. We like to see him act off that jab parry.
Gio hands up high, Jens hands very, very low.
There's the shots to the body from Jens. Wow, powerful first round.
Yeah, I'm in pain just watching the shots. So that's a tough round to call. I think I have to get that though to Jens. I think he did more damage, more contact. Of course, landing on the mount definitely helps.
I agree, but I do think it more came down to the damage. The damage. He landed in the mount, but that was quickly reversed, and it wasn't like he initiated the takedown. So that position dominance, nothing happened from it. I personally wouldn't score that importantly, but that damage towards the end, that was scoring damage.
You know, you got to take into account, though, again, that half-point scoring system we have seen a couple times tonight, those judges giving rounds that we thought were a bit more distance.
That's right.
Giving that half-point difference instead of giving that full-point difference. So that could be happening in this first round.
Yeah, this could be scored a lot of different ways. Now, Gio's going to go for more takedowns. He's going to have to set him up, particularly at the end of that first round. He kind of just came in for a takedown with no setup behind it, or he'll want to catch Jens coming in if he wants to take it to the ground.
You know, question here also with young, big fighters is who's got a bigger cardio box? Both fighters connect with lefts.
Ooh. Uh-oh, we're getting into a slugfest here.
Here we go. A nice stiff jab. Stumbles Gio a bit, and Gio goes for a very ill-conceived takedown.
Yeah, he's going to have to shoot a little lower. Thumbs up, both fighters ready to go.
You know, this looks like an alternate universe of Brandon Vera versus Boss Rutten. You know, one thing I noticed about these two, Jens has been throwing to the body a lot. Gio, though, really headhunting when shooting. Oh, here we go, a little bit work to the body.
There's some opportunity for some knees there, and looks like Jens got off first.
Gio's looking tired, breathing very heavily through the mouth.
Yeah, I was going to note that. He is looking tired, and that fast, hard jab that Jens throws is going to be to his advantage to set something up. There's a shot that's below the hips. He may be able to finish this, and no. Hard shot on the break.
There's one thing I can see is that no matter what Gio throws, Jens has the same expression, same desire to push forward, really.
Yes.
That's got to be disheartening for a guy when you're throwing your big power shots. Oh, look at that. Gio shaking off the leg kick, saying, nuh-uh.
Yeah, a knockout could happen at any time between these two when they start throwing their hands. Gio needs to keep that right hand up. Or excuse me, that left hand up. And Jens may be slowing down a bit as well.
And there we go, a nice stepping left jab. Now this is where Gio does not want to be. The one place that Jen's done the most damage is when Gio puts his back against the cage, lets Jen start ripping into the body, switching, changing levels. That's the one place I would tell Gio Zavala to not be in this fight.
I agree. And Jens is opting to not take the stool. He wants to stand the whole time. Perhaps looking like the fresher of the two. I can't really see Gio from here. Do you have an angle on him? Can you see Gio?
I don't really have much on Gio. He is grimacing pretty heavily right now, squinting his eyes a bit. You know, he did take a lot of powerful shots in that round and expended a lot of energy. You know, they always say the more of those muscles you have, the more blood it takes to keep those going.
Right, right. How would you have scored that last round? Because I'm not even thinking about it right. I'm thinking about the third.
You know, I honestly have to say that Jens appeared to be the aggressor again, appeared to make more contact. You know, also when a fighter looks tired, it does influence the way you think the fight's going.
Right. Agree.
Even if they are landing.
Well, Gio definitely is trying to work that jab more and initiate the action.
Yeah, Gio does look a lot better. That minute of rest definitely helped.
You got to stay off the cage like we talked about.
You know, unlike the first round, Jens isn't doing as much to set up that right hand. I think he's just relying on it to get through.
Yeah, he fires every punch Jens throws is hard. There's not even a soft jab. They're just those powerful jabs.
A nice right counter punch from Gio. Oh, here now. Gio just playing defense with those punches, really. We saw Jens land a couple of very nice strikes to the body and to the face.
Yeah, and those body shots are paying off.
You can see Gio breathing heavily again. A minute left in this round and a minute left in this fight. Jens Grau with a really strong jab. Gio covering up.
Oh boy.
I think Jens smells some blood in the water, but again, as you can see, once Jens starts throwing, keeping those hands low, not respecting the power of Zavala.
And that's when knockouts can come from anywhere. 30 seconds to go.
You know, this fight has been, as billed, quite a slugfest, but right now both fighters showing a bit of fatigue. Let's see if Jens can pour it on here in these last 15 seconds. You know, Gio might have been trying to salvage some points there, but honestly at that point, I think his best choice was throw something big.
Agreed. This is going to be an interesting scorecard. I do think that Jens got that round in probably each round.
Yeah, Jens definitely was, again, the aggressor, controlling the position in the cage, throwing more. You know, Gio acquitted himself well, but Jens Grau is quite relentless.
Yeah, and he's initiating a lot of takedowns. He's working hard. Both these guys are working hard for the victory.
You know, that's one of those toughest things. You really work for a takedown. You feel like you're not getting it done in the stand-up game. And when a guy just stops you from moving forward, and here we can see, again, those big power shots. You know, if there's one thing you can say about Gio Zavala, he has a strong chin taking those big shots here from Jens Grau.
Yeah, and Gio's in good spirits. All in good spirits. Gio just looked at it and said, "You guys like that?" in between heavy breaths, and a nice show of sportsmanship there between both fighters.
You know, one thing about both these guys that I found is that they're both real class acts. They're very complimentary of each other. You know, I've dealt with Jens multiple times here at the U, seen him fight quite a bit, and he's always a gentleman, always really fun, always very lighthearted. And I think that he really just enjoys the culture of fighting. Gio Zavala, though, very clearly heavily fatigued. It's not easy to go all this time. You know, if you want to see what it's like to actually go for even 6 minutes of a fight, just go ahead and give a shot. Get one of your buddies, and as hard as you possibly can, do your best to choke each other for 5 minutes. Yeah. And then try to jog after that and see how it goes.
Oh, and then you got to factor in the adrenaline of actually fighting, not just going with your buddies. You're not just in the gym. You're actually here, you know, I don't want to say kill or be killed, but it's obviously, you know, hurt or be hurt.
It's as close to that as possible.
Right. And that adrenaline just will get you going, it'll get you moving, and it'll adrenaline dump you.
You know, one of the things you don't realize, even if you have trained a combat sport, until you're actually in combat, and again with that adrenaline factor, not to mention that training, no matter how hard you train, until someone else is training just as hard back with the intent of damage, you can't factor in how much that does to your muscles. Even in jiu-jitsu training, you might drill a move over and over again. Right. You might do cardio drills, but then you go ahead at the end of a 2-hour practice session, you feel fine, and you roll for 5 minutes, and that's what drains you.
Yeah. And then you got to talk, we're talking about two really big guys here with muscle too, so it's even more to feed. More blood to pump around, more air to move through the body with those lungs.
You know, you see how hard it is for 205-pounders to fight for 6 minutes. It really gives you more respect for those big heavyweights fighting for 15, even 25 minutes.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, sometimes these half points, they seem to be the math behind it. You were talking before. Take a little bit of time to add up. I guess that may be one critique against the half point system, but if it makes for fights that get scored more accurately with less, you know, ambiguity, less dispute, etc., I think it's a fair trade-off. A little extra time for increased accuracy.
You know, one thing that we do need here at Camo is TI-86s, so that not only can we get our scores calculated more quickly, but that we can all play some games as we're waiting.
Can you play games on those?
Oh my gosh. I must have played Drug Wars about 1 million times when I was supposed to be learning.
Wow. The TIs I had, a little older, there was no games.
And now for a physical decision, Salvatore Ariano.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Judge Ayers scores about 30 to 28.5 for Grau. Judge John McCarthy scores a fight 29.5 to 29 for Zavala. Judge Ron McCarthy scores a fight 30 to 28.5 for your winner by majority decision. Out of the blue corner, Sandman Grau.
Give it up for both these fighters. They came in here banging. Jens, we know you love to come in here and bang it out. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Come on, you guys. It's a sporting event. Be classy.
Give a hand for Gio.
Give it up for Gio. Look, that was a tough fight. If you guys could hear the punches ringside, that shit was vicious. How are you feeling?
I feel good. He was a very tough opponent, and thank you very much, Gio, for coming in and not backing out and everything else. Thank you guys out there for coming and supporting this stuff here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Elite MMA. And thank you to my good friend and sparring partner and great coach, Jamie Toney, Randy Kitama, Rodrigo Cavallo, our jiu-jitsu coach, and of course, not last, the legend, Rutten.
Jens, always great to have you here at the MMA. Congratulations. Give it up for him. Jens Grau.
Thank you.
Your winner by majority decision, Jens Grau.